Good evening, VPG. Thursday night. Normally our last night, and this is an announcement straight off the bat, normally our last stream of the week, but not this week. This week, Champions E-League final is tomorrow, Friday night. Thursday schedule looks exactly as it always does every Thursday. 2 UK Premier games, followed by 2 VPG Esports Premier games. My name is 8ball from Pro Clubs Weekly, bringing you all of the VPG action tonight and tomorrow night, actually. So without further ado, and shout out to obviously the couple of legends in the chat at the moment as well. You guys keep the love coming. We absolutely love it. Right, housekeeping while we wait for the first game, which is on your screen right now. It is Focus versus Primal Esports. They'll be kicking us off this evening. UK Premier always starts us off with a bang, so do not miss that one. That will be followed by Class versus Black Sheep. Last season's runners-up Class taking on Black Sheep, who are exactly as the name suggests. They are a Black Sheep. You never know what, I want to say performance, because they always play well. You don't know what kind of a season these guys are going to have ever, and that's what makes them such a good watch. A very, very good team. 6th place finish for those guys in the UK Prem last season, and 12th in the Esports Prem as well. So, I mean, technically the 12th best team on VPG last season. Not to be sniffed at. Not to be sniffed at. Moving on then to, when it goes purple, you know what it means. It's not gone purple today, so they've changed it now. We're staying with gold, and befitting a champ, perfectly timed, 8ball, perfectly timed. It is our champions, FAMALICAO. The first look at these guys for season number 14. They'll be taking on XTENTATIO, who we can't get enough of at the moment, quite literally. They are Champions League semi-finalists yesterday, which means they are Champions League finalists tomorrow. We caught them on Monday as well, and here we are again on Thursday. All fun and games, and Focus have just confirmed that they're in extra time, so we will be waiting for at least another 5 minutes there. So if you need to grab yourself a drink, do so. If you need to let the dog out, do so, but make sure you come back. But that's our 8:45. Don't pay attention to what it says on the screen. That's our 8:45, not 7:45, otherwise we would have missed it. And last but certainly not least, and worth waiting for, the team sheet FLUMINESES, naughty boys and girls, came in at 7:30 tonight. FLUMINESES are hosting New Boys Braunschweig, who, I mean, they're new to, I've never watched them before, so this is a really, I'm fascinated by these guys. But there are a lot of players in there I recognize who may have, I don't want to say defected, of course they haven't defected, have come from other teams. That's probably the best way of putting it. The likes of Marv, all the gains there. So let's see what those guys are cooking up for our final game of the evening. That is at circa 9:15, usually around about 9:30 by the time we get around to those games. So yeah, there's your scores on the doors. And like I said, the first game we've got is Focus versus Primal. Now, two sides that were playing in the champ, so the second tier of UK VPG last season, and I mean Primal finished 6th, so they could have come through the playoffs. If anyone from Primal is in the chat, do let me know. But a lot of the time in VPG, I say a lot of the time, some of the time in VPG, it's actually done by star ratings. So if you've got a ridiculous team, you can't just drop in at the 10th tier of VPG, because it wouldn't be fair to anyone. So I think both of these sides, regardless of playoff wins or whatever, especially Focus, because I know they did not, I think they finished 11th, but they started off in the VPG UK Premier, and then went down mid-season just from chopping and changing and trying to get people playing at the right level. They think they've found their right level at the pinnacle of VPG UK, and looking at this team tonight, I get it. I totally get it. And look, the Mr. VPG himself, Focus Delosa, you can see him there on your screen, playing Cam. He's put himself in the opener. That's the he backs himself, he backs his side, and it's going to be a good test against Primal, because I think these two are quite similar in that they both played champ last season and they didn't run away with the league like some teams who come up have done, like Exito, for example, who Primal did play in their first game and did get beat. So I think when two teams come up like that, unless you make massive signings, you can expect quite a difficult time. And both sides have made very, very good signings as well. I mean, Matty Bast was at Primal last season, so we know all about him. As a Bast, I think Azza and Matty together, they have got the potential to be a real demon strike force in this league specifically as well. So that will be an interesting watch tonight, but also for the rest of the season, because these are players who can get you 30-40 goals a season given the right service. So I think for Primal and Siebes, the manager, I do genuinely think that their tactic is get it to those front two and just let them work their magic. They're set up in that 3-5-2, no Cam, just get it to those guys, see what you can cook. And on the flip side of that, Focus have brought in some real good players, and it's whether or not for Focus the quality of that team is not going to be questioned. It's whether or not they can gel quick enough to get off the mark, and they certainly gelled in the European games. Let's see if they can do it in the UK games. Mr. Salco, T Hudson, Wigwam, the two strikers as well, ex-pro players. You can see what Delosa's done here. He's kept kind of the spine in Famous Stranger himself, Davies, and added in the quality where he needs to. And I think that is, if my team was in the UK Premier, I'd just be keeping an eye on Focus, see what they're doing, because I think this season, I think they're gonna either impress a lot of people and surprise a lot of people, because I don't think a lot of people know about some of these signings they made, some of these players that have come across, or the Focus of the last few seasons, they kind of are just there and they don't want that, hence the signings. So let's see what these two sides are gonna muster up for us. I'm being told that invites are being sent. I'll prove we are just waiting for Primal. We've been sat in the Primal lobby for a little while now. Hopefully we get in tonight. Anyone watching last night, anyone watching Monday, I mean, we didn't do Tuesday because the issues were so bad. So hopefully we get in first time of asking. It has been sent. So yeah, I mean, any score predictions, obviously pop them down in the chat. Let me know. I'm going to go for a gentleman's draw here. Thursday, UK Premier first game is usually a banger. These two sides definitely have the ability to provide us with bangers, and I think both of these sides will want to prove a point. Primal coming up from the champ, playing against Delosa's side on stream, will want to prove a point here. And I think Focus, they just want to get a good start to this season. They want to prove to the players they signed that this is a good place to be, but also to the rest of the league to say, look, we brought these players in, we can keep them happy by winning, and we're going to do that. So I think we've got two very, very well matched teams. And do you know what? I'm gonna put myself on repeat, and I don't know what this game is doing, by the way. Yeah, I figured. It might have been me saying it. It might well have been me saying it, but Scotto's gone, so it'll just be me now. He is coming back. They're trying to sort it out in Discord, so do bear with me. But what I was gonna say, and I'll take you over to the team sheets now, because we'll just have a sneaky little talk, because I imagine we'll jump straight into this game. I'll say exactly the same thing about these two sides as well. Class versus Black Sheep. I'm looking at the games tonight. Fama against XTENTATIO might be, and yeah, to be fair, no, it's just the UK Prem sides. Two very, very good matchups. No one I would call a favourite on either one of those, whereas the complete flip side, Fama versus XTENTATIO, they're the champs, and it's the champs versus the Champions League finalists, so that's saying a lot about FAMALICAO and how much we rate them on VPG and Pro Clubs Weekly. FLUMINESES are taking on a team I've never watched before, so they are automatically favourites, so apologies. But yeah, Class Black Sheep will be straight into that game after we finally get into this game, and we are 6 minutes late, but expect it when the game is like this. Lots of lobby simulator this week. It was team of the week, team of the season, team of the year, whichever one it is, which you can tell I don't care about foot, but it was that update that's all being released, and I do think that's playing with the servers a little bit. The timing is just, it's perfect, isn't it? As soon as that comes out, Pro Clubs takes a backseat as per usual. So yeah, this week has been a bit painful, so do bear with us. And I tell you what I'm going to do is I'm just going to message Class and Black Sheep just to let them know. Because what sometimes does happen, I mean, you can see their confirmation, Primal missing one player. What does sometimes happen, if we don't call it early doors, they will kick off without us. And we don't want that. We don't want to miss any of the action. The exact same thing happened to us yesterday. We waited ages and then we had non-stop. I think the stream was like 2 hours to fit in 2 games, but we had non-stop action. It was well worth the wait, and I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. It's always worth it, which is why everyone still turns up. Right, message sent to Class and Black Sheep. As you can see, Primal just waiting on one person before the teams send. So if you need another drink or your dog needs another wee, take him out quickly. Focus Elite A side, so the second tier of VPG European football. It's obviously all done on that pyramid scale, with the VPG Esports Premier being top of that. They are in the second tier of that focus, so again, a very, very good side. Having a look at Primal Champ side, so underneath Elite A, so they are the third tier of the pyramid. Could we say Focus are favourites for that reason? Possibly. We always go by the footballing pyramid, by the way. It's absolutely nothing personal whatsoever. It's called lazy journalism, boys and girls. Yeah, we're still waiting on one person. It's always awkward as well. Always awkward when you're waiting on just the one person. I mean, whilst they're up on the screen, that Matty Bast, Azabast strike partnership is what I'm looking forward to seeing tonight. Coming up against a very, very good defense in Focus. The two brand new signings could easily be playing VPG Esports Premier Football. That's how good those guys are. Someone's struggling to get in. I mean, to be fair, I should actually just start sharing the Discord chat so you can then I can just sit back, you guys can see what I'm seeing, and we can just sit and wait. But there's nothing you can do if someone physically can't get on the game. What do you do? As much as I love clubs, I totally get trying to get 22 people in a lobby for the right time can be quite difficult. And take that from me and Domino, who have done management for seasons upon seasons. We've heard some of the best excuses in the game, to be quite honest. In fact, we did a video on it. So yeah, if you to be fair, if you've got some time to kill, go and pop that. It's only 10 minutes long. We might be here for 10 minutes. Oh dear. Yeah, they've given them 30-second deadline to get into the game. I mean, it's May now, in a game cycle that started in September. It's not great. It's not great. The race is on then. Let's see. I mean, this is arguably more exciting than the game itself. The race against. They're trying to sort out this missing player. But, you know, the bad thing is Primal sat in that lobby. There he is. There he is. They made it. They made it. Are they going to move things around? If the game is this dramatic, then fine. He's made it with seconds to spare. And like I was going to say, you know, Primal sat there waiting for 10-15 minutes in the lobby. You know, they were on stream. We were watching them do it. What can you do? What if someone gets kicked out and someone can't log back in? What do you physically do? It's a difficult one because, believe it or not, whilst we kick off 15 minutes late, believe it or not, there are some pretty strict deadlines here in VPG, which we try our best to adhere to, but when the game's doing other things and saying other things, what can you do? Magic number 22 is in the top left hand corner. Usually means we're alright. I'll let you know if there's any Discord messages sent, but to be quite honest, I think they'll probably just play this one regardless, because otherwise, what can you do? What can you do? Right, I'll keep an eye on Class and Black Sheep, try to prevent them from kicking off. But in the meantime, VPG and Pro Clubs Weekly proudly present to you the first UK Prem game of a Thursday night. And it is Focus in the all-white Real Madrid kit from left to right, taking on Primal Esports in the, I don't know what kit that is, but it's looks like a Spain kit, so we'll go with that, the red of Spain. Giles at the base in midfield, gives it to Jeffries, back to Giles. Wigwam inside. Here is Delos at the cam. Tasku back to his gaffer. Good work from Focus. Jerkos back to Delosa. Tries the splitting pass, wins it back like a steamroller. But Primal do survive. Salco there. Do you know what? He's an absolute unit. He's just got so much experience. And you saw, I mean, we spoke about the Strike Force beforehand. They'll give anyone a good game. And here is Azabast. Ignorant goes long. Jerkos with the knockdown. No one running in behind those. So the gaffer, Seabass. I mean, we think Primal might have just changed their team around slightly as they're waiting, because they didn't think they were going to get back in. It didn't look like they changed back, so maybe a bit of drama there. Az wins it high up, or Anzinho. Delosa into Wigwam. Gives it to the feet of Jerkos. Focus looked very good in this final third, and you would expect it as well, as Anzinho wins it high up, and Cryax, or Cyrax, completes the clearance for Primal. Backs against the wall slightly. Davis trying to break into the box. Cyrax there again. 2 in a row for him. Good press from Focus, though. Anzinho. Davis swings it in. Back post is free. Coyote. Linesman's got his flag up. A good save, though, from Owen in the Primal net. Stung his palms. He did parry it out to a Focus player. So he'll be looking around and thanking his lucky stars that the flag was up. Oh, Giles wins it down to Matty Bast. Fires it wide. That was a chance. Was it gilt edge by Matty standards? Probably. Probably. But Giles just popped up out of nowhere, breaking through from centre midfield. Got the knockdown. We know those header knockdowns are OP. Good press from Primal, but Focus played through it. And yeah, both sides coming close in the first 20 minutes. Davies comes back to Tasku. Patient from Focus. Delosa gives it to Jerkos. Gets it onto the right foot. Block falls to the Gaffer. Seabass, Gaffer versus Gaffer there. Keeps the ball well. Will take a corner for his troubles. Good start to this game. Both sides, like I said, both sides capable of scoring multiple goals easily in any game. Kerr heads it down. Jerkos, big save from Owen. Scotto, I mean, I think he might have been offside. Scotto did well with the clearance. That is not a very good clearance, though. Caillou picks it up. Wigwam into Delosa. The switch is on if he wants to use it. Forces it. Cyrax is there. Headed on nicely. And Azabast flicks it on. There's a man in the box. It is Scotto. Michael giving this chase into the box. Kerr is back there, though. Good work from him. Fires it. Fires it off his opposite number, and it will be a goal kick for Focus. Long it goes. Davies in absolute acres. Here we go. 2v1, 3v1 if they look up. They do. Pick the right pass. It's Delosa. Cuts onto that left foot, and tell you what, Wardy saw it coming. He telegraphed it. He saw it coming. Well stood up. Lesser men would have dived in there. Azabast gives it to Scotto on the overlap. First time ball in. Finds Matty. Did the touch let him down? No, it didn't. No, it didn't, because he got the corner out of it. They're not going to get much out of these Focus centre-backs tonight. They are a solid back line. Flicked on by Seabass. Headed in to Wardy. There he is. It was the man who stood up and stopped the previous attack. He now pops up in the next attack for his side. Centre-back to centre-back. The manager, Siebes, flicks it on. Wardy there at the back post. It's 1-0 to Primal. Game on. From a set piece, Primal will not care one bit how it comes. First blood Primal. Mr. Salco into Delosa. Brucey bonus. Do we get an award for name of the night? I think we did it. We did it yesterday. Doki Loki. Won it last night. Here is Tasku. 4 white shirts ahead. And I tell you what, too many cooks in the kitchen there. They did have a lot of white shirts forward. And they end up running into each other. What Focus would give for a goal before halftime? This is definitely a game that could have gone either way. I don't think either side can be too hard done by. Should they go in at the break as the scores sit currently? Coyote making good ground over on that far side. Cuts back. Gives it to Wigwam. Focus has seen a lot of the ball in this final third, but been unable to get it through to their strikers. That's what they want. Fires it. Brucey bonus is there. Not only did he block it, but he also kept possession for his side as well. And Kaz stepped across, put the man into the stands. Wigwam into Jerkos. Gives it to his strike partner. Wanted too much time. Cyrex there again. He's having a great half. And I tell you what, what's letting Primal down at the moment is playing through these thirds. Again, Care is there. Focus are doing a real good job. Man over on the left side. Chooses the right side instead. And Zinio goes for goal. And it's going to fall straight through to Owen in the Primal goal. 1.5 minutes to get through to half time. It is, again, slightly backs against the wall for Primal. Maybe, I said Focus maybe couldn't feel hard done by. Here we go. They've got men over. Jerkos is one of them. Gives it to Anzinio again. Again. We're not getting on anyone's back, but it's getting slightly wasteful for Focus. And the good thing for them is they're creating chances. They're creating lots of chances. But they're all falling to the same man who looks slightly hesitant at the moment for some reason. And I appreciate fully and the big stage now. It's VPG UK Premier live Thursday night, the world watching. But I tell you what, Anzino, I think when he watches this back, I mean, even sat in the dressing room, maybe I'm being hypercritical, but this is the standard we're at now, boys and girls. It is the Premier. we expect the Premier. And I think he'll just get a slight reminder, maybe to pull the trigger a bit sooner, because Focus have created a lot of chances in that first half. A lot of half chances that they just need to swing a boot at, especially in FC25. Swing a boot, and I think that will be the battle cry at halftime by the gaffer. Primal, I think it's just, again, we said it at the beginning of the game. When you get two strikers like Azza and Matty Bast up front, do what you need to do and just get it into those guys. And that's what they did. That's what they did for a lot of that first half. This should sort itself out. I have faith. It's not the first time I've seen this. When is Alte versus Focus? I mean, you can check the website. But it's not on tonight. I'm not sure if you've turned up expecting that. Okay. I think that there is confirmation that we might just get one half here and have to come back to it a bit later, because I mean, it's thinking about it. One person's gone, and that's how you can find out who it is as well. Oh, more people have gone. I think that's it. I think that's game, set, and match, boys and girls. I'll try and find out what happens with that, whether we come back to it after we've seen everything, after we've done everything, because the world carries on rotating. We got to keep moving. I'll bring up the next stream, but yeah, there is confirmation of the next game. I imagine we'll be going to it. EA, got blood on your hands. Right then, we waited an age, we got a half. Bon appetit. Right, Black Sheep are in the lobby. They're asking questions. Yeah, we're gonna go over. I'll leave. I mean, at the end of the day, if any team is gonna get some kind of heat here, it might as well be Mr. VPG's own team, because he can sort that out. That's not a problem. Focus Primal, we might try and squeeze them in somewhere down the line, but for now it is going to be Class versus Black Sheep. Class second place last season by goal difference after finishing third this season before. And is this going to be the season where Class do it? Looking at the lineup, I mean, I've always said about Class, they make very, very good signings. I don't know how Class Doyle's just got the gift of the gab. Very, very good manager, very, very good player, of course. They've brought in Captain America playing central centre back tonight. They just continuously do it. Anytime there's a gap in their side, they fill it with some world-class players. Class third the season before, season 12, second season 13. They're only going to be looking up. They're only going to be looking up. So is it going to be a case for Class this season that only a championship will do? Who knows? Who knows? They drew against Primal, actually, on Monday. The only game they've played in the UK Premier. Just keeping an eye on what's happening here, because Black Sheep are still in the lobby. Let me just make sure they know to kick off. It's Class. I think that is the goal for them this season. I'd like to is it a title winning team? Time will tell. They've got some very, very good players in there. They've got some players who are improving as well. and they're led by their manager. And I said last night on stream, when your manager plays striker for you, you know they're a good player, because normally, and this happens with Domino and I, the manager just fills in slots that players just don't bother turning up for, or you can't sign, or whatever. We don't trust. Klaas Doyle is a striker, always been the striker, and when he's leading the line, he leads by example. So, I mean, a third place and a second place for Klaas, who knows? Who knows? Both those seasons led by their talisman, Klaas Doyle. Black Sheep. Oh, and don't forget, they won the UK Pro Series as well, so a bit of silverware for them to go with those second and third places too. Right, Black Sheep, on the other hand, 6th last season in that UK Premier. For the side they had, I genuinely think they'd be disappointed with that. And that's not to say that 6th place in the UK Premier is not a good finish. I just, knowing those players like I do, I think they would have set their sights on winning that title. This season, I think they'll give themselves a bit more of a... I think they'll give themselves a bit more slack. They've dropped down into Elite B despite finishing 12th in the E-Prem last season, so the highest you can go in VPG Europe. That might give them a bit of an easier time. They're not playing those eSport Premier sides, you know, day in, day out, because that takes its toll as well. And I do think that's what happened to Black Sheep. They suffered from availability last season. And, you know, if you're playing the likes of Fama, if you're playing the likes of Gmask every other day, it's going to take its toll. I'm not saying that's why people didn't turn up, but let's be honest, we're more likely to turn up as humans, as pro clubs players, when we're winning week in, week out. So I think dropping down into that Elite B division, I think for the gaffer Mo, it shows that he understands the squad he's got at the moment. And look, expect them to be competitive in both leagues. There's no reason why this side can't win UK Prem. Obviously, there's a lot of sides who will be stopping them from doing that, of course. But Elite, I think, is expect them to be there or thereabouts at the end of the season. A couple of players to look out for: Zyna, fantastic player. Matt D, 23, Bread Shear and Lee Jacko, those fullbacks, attacking fullbacks in that 4-3-3. I love seeing this 4-3-3. It's what they played last season. Ellis in central defensive midfield is where he usually plays. He's dropped down as a centre mid there. Expect to see him at the base of midfield. Another brilliant player. That front three, that's who I'm personally going to be looking out for tonight. I want to see what they can do. They had a very, very good front three last season. I think maybe Kana was there last season, but the rest of them appear to be missing. So it'll be interesting to see what they've replaced him with. Invezi, always a danger for Klaas. And like I said, new boy Captain America, look out for him. Logan, another good player in goal for Klaas. Right then, second game is kind of here. I was reluctant to put it on until we were actually in the game. Slowly but surely, guys. Slowly but surely. I mean, the person streaming hadn't skipped, but I'm not sure what there is to skip. Again, I've got Discord on my other screen, so I'll let you know what I know, when I know. But it appears like one person, according to EA, is ruining it for everyone else. We will get to see some football tonight, boys and girls. I promise. I promise. It's a big ask, I know, to open up a game and actually play the game. It's crazy. We're asking too much, quite clearly. On one of the hottest days of the year. Nope. It's a big fat no. Captain America says it perfectly. Yeah, one player missing for Black Sheep. They're going to try again. It's going to be one of those nights, boys and girls. It is going to be one of those nights now. Anyway, here are the teams that you've seen 90 times. Again, a bit like the Class Black Sheep game when we're waiting for the first game, I might need to message Fama as well, just to tell them not to jump in. Because that's apparently what we need to do these days. Is XTENTATIO is the next game. It's going to be an absolute banger as well. All these games are going to be absolute bangers if we can get people in. Sorry, I appreciate that's not very good. It's not very good viewing, but needs must. Needs must. We can't miss that. Can't miss that next game, which I might as well just remind you of if you weren't here earlier on when we did the rounds. It is the Champions. Again, we should be excited for it, but we're super depressed about the game mode. It is the Champions taking on the Champions E-League finalists, XTENTATIO. They're on tomorrow night, should the game be working by then. At an earlier time, I think it kicks off at around about 8:15 UK time. So that'll be on this channel. So make sure you are subscribed to this, turn on notifications. Then when we do go live, because we'll probably go live a little bit earlier, 5 past, 10 past maybe, just to get ready for that game. It is 2 legs, and they're taking on the Russian side Echelon, so that's going to be an absolute banger. $2,000 up for grabs for that one. There's huge amounts, huge amounts when we're talking. It's huge amounts regardless of what we're talking, but especially when we're talking pro clubs. That's crazy money. Absolutely crazy money. And then the fourth and final game, which I have no idea at this rate when it will be, but it is FLUMINESES taking on League New Boys Braunschweig, and last season's 5th place FLUMINESES. We said it on the last day of the season, they totally and utterly flew under the radar last season. And when you look at that side, they've just got ballers for days. They're a very good unit. Those boys are very close, tight-knit unit, playing a lot of different competitions with each other, so they just know each other's game, very familiar with each other's game. Black Sheep sat in the lobby. Yeah, more crashing for one of the Class guys this time. It was one of the Black Sheep boys who couldn't get in. And like I said in the Primal game, what do you do? It's nobody's fault that the game doesn't work for that one specific person. It's cruel. It's cruel. I mean, I can't. We didn't play Tuesday. Don't forget, we cancelled Tuesday. I think maybe like 20% of teams across all of VPG. Think there's 10 tiers of VPG. Not 10 leagues, 10 tiers. Think how many games. I reckon about 20% of them got played on Tuesday. The rest were just, nah, they're not going to waste their time trying to get into this game, trying to get into this broken game. And we saw it Wednesday, they had massive issues, and that was literally 2 games, 4 teams, and even that took an age as well. So it's always been bad, but I think this week has been particularly bad. It's not great to see. It's not great to see. When we're trying to grow the mode, it is an exciting mode. Like I said, VPG, $2,000 prize for winning a tournament. And EA can't be bothered to fix the game. It just doesn't make any sense. Make it make sense. Runner-up also gets $500, by the way. So one of those 2 teams, XTENTATIO and Echelon, are gonna. I mean, they're rubbing their hands together. At least getting $500. So congratulations to both those 2. That is tomorrow. at 8:15 UK time. Do not miss it. We'll be there. Probably doing the same as we're doing now. I mean, we're 2 games into the season. That was my point earlier. We're 2 games into the season, so I can't even show you the league table. I can't even tell you some interesting stats. Nothing's happened. There would be more games played if we didn't cancel them all on Tuesday because of the game. But confirmation there, actually, of Ellis playing in CDM. So at least it's confirmation I do know something. But that back 5 for Black Sheep, very, very solid. Viner in particular. And the 2 attacking fullbacks as well. Look out for Brad Sheeran. Lee Jacko, I mean, I feel like I see him play striker and winger as much as I do playing fullback. And that's everything you need to know about that man. They have chaos in their boots. I think a lot of the time Ellis will just drop back in and make a back 3 while those 2 get forward and the 2 wide players tuck in as almost inside forwards. I think Liverpool for the last few seasons is kind of how Black Sheep approach that. Lots of energy in that midfield from Mo. Box to box midfielder. It's definitely a bit like the Focus and Primal game, which again was taken from us prematurely. We only got one half of that. 2 very well matched sides. And I was looking forward to watching it, believe it or not. I was looking forward to it about 50 minutes ago. I mean, the stream has been going for almost 50 minutes now, boys and girls. We've watched 45 virtual minutes of football. Let's go. Right. I mean, the least that these 2 sides can do now is give us a 4-all, 5-all, 6-5. Let's make it happen, boys and girls. Here we go then. We are in. It looks like everyone's there. There we go. It is Black Sheep in the sporting kit, all white from right to left, and of course Class in their traditional purple Malaga kit. It's a thing of beauty. Here we go then. Second of 4 games tonight. Mo Arsenal goes over the top. Logan comes flying out. Superman punches only as far as the right back. Lee Jacko in the box. 3 minutes in. Bailey gives it to Kano. Agard. It's one of those players who is improving every week, by the way. Agard at the back. Down the line it goes. What a ball that is. Here is Muzzy. Swings it in, but Logan was ready. Josh Chapman gives it to Klaas Doyle. Gets taken out off the ball. Nothing given. Jacko slides in. Half winger picks it up. Bailey in again on Maigan. Something the referee didn't like. And it's I don't think it was that initial foul. Someone off the ball. But it does come back anyway. XTENTATIO for game number 3. I said they're in the lobby ready. I can only apologise, boys. Can only apologise. Technically they're a minute early. That's all I've got. That's all I've got. Right then. Class. From about 50 yards. I have absolutely no idea what just happened. That's one for the... Put it in the highlight reel. Put it in the highlight reel. Why not? Brad Sheeran. You recognise him because he's got a big ginger afro. Just stalled on it, but maybe lulling them into a false sense of security. Bailey on the turn. Gives it to Lee Jacko, who's already had a lot of the ball over on that far side. Gives it to Addy, breaks it, and look at Viner there. Pressing forward from centre-back as well. It's aggressive. He is a very aggressive player. Aggressive person. Half winger down the line to Maigan. Ever-present for Class. A very classy player. Klaas Doyle loses out to that sea of white, and Brad Sheeran's going to give us that 70-yard clearance on the turn that we all love. We don't love it. It doesn't make any sense. Memes in the chat. Good evening to you, sir. XTENTATIO follows this game. We are behind schedule. Imagine my surprise. But that's going to be an absolute banger. As is this one, to be fair. And it started off at a blistering pace. Class Doyle breaks into the box, but Brett Sheeran is there. Turns on the ball, and there's that 70-yard clearance again. Captain America makes absolutely no mistake there. Josh Chapman picks it up, coming from an offside position, but timed his run back. And Black Sheep very happy to go long early doors, trying to get some change out of this back three of Class. Ellis, good composure from him. Viner into Lee Jacko. Mo Arsenal into Kano. Stab forward. Here we go. He's going to get there ahead of the keeper. Not TM. Heads it over. A helpless Logan. And it's 1-0 to Black Sheep. Their tactics working perfectly. They played it through the thirds that time. Mixing up their weapons well. And this is what I said about Black Sheep. You never know what you're going to get. Not to quote Forrest Gump, of course. But he did say that. And so did I. A lot of similarities, to be fair. 1-0 though to Black Sheep away from home to last year's runners-up Class. Aguard down the line to Invezi. Addy gets it inside. Invezi goes past his man. Cuts back though, and Lee Jacko read it well. Down the line it goes to Muzzy. Finds Striker's feet. Bailey. Travella through ball over the top. Not TM. Already got a goal to his name. Just strayed. Playing it along the back, our Class. Levieux, very good CDM, by the way. Look out for him. Josh Chapman, very busy centre forward. Into Striker's feet it goes. Class Doyle looks for the man in behind. Brett Sheeran. It's Afro versus Afro. What a battle. One ginger, one black Afro. It was the ginger Afro that won that time round. Migan. I mean, he's winning a lot of 50-50s here. Fair play to you. We talk about him going forward all the time, but he's very solid defensively. Migan slides it through to Josh Chapman. It's going to fall to Class Doyle. That is what that man does. He just gets you goals. He knows where the goal is. Look at the reaction time on that. That's it. Stop the count. Stop the count. That man he's very good at this game. He's very good at what he does. The ball fell kindly to him. I will give Black Sheep that. But what a finish. What a turn. You just can't teach that. We saw it in the focus game. Not to single anyone out. I won't use names. We saw it in the focus game where people want the perfect opportunity to shoot. Sometimes you just need to pull the trigger when you get into the box. And that's what Class Doyle does. And that's why he gets 20 plus, 30 plus goals a season. Hayden. One apiece. We said this was going to be a good game. We were excited for it. And it is. We asked for a 4-4 or a 5-5, 6-5. They're working on it. They're working on it, boys and girls. I have no idea why that tackle flew in, but it did. Class then. From the angle. Hopefully it's better than the last time. It is better than the last time. Slides it through. A good flick on. Not sure who that was. That's Class Doyle. Of course it's Class Doyle. Although it looks quite tall to be him. Bailey, edge of the box. Runners over on that far side. It is the gaffer. Goes for a very extreme 1-2. Heads it back home to Logan, who I think will be disappointed with his positioning for the goal. But what can you do? The ball was so good. Stabbed into the back post again. Here is the goal scorer, not TM. Goes long. Josh Chapman is a very small man build. Goes with Class Doyle's tall man build, I guess. A Heskey and Owen combination there. Mo Arsenal, edge of the box for the away side. Bailey Travella's it. Captain America there takes it down on the chest and volleys it clear. That might take us through unless Brett Sheeran wants to put this in. It's not good enough. This time Logan will come out and claim it. And that takes us through to half-time, boys and girls. I mean, was it worth waiting for? Of course it was. Of course it was worth waiting for. One apiece. One apiece. I think if Class if Class want to win the UK Prem this season, these are the kind of games that they will need to find a way. And when we've watched them the last 2 seasons, they've not always been at their best, but they've always found a way, and that's why they've found themselves in 3rd place, in 2nd place. Only lost that last season by goal difference. 4 goals was the difference. They're in the game at the end of the day. They got themselves back in after going a goal down. Black Sheep, on the other hand, this is why this is such a good game, and you can see it, you know, not just on paper. You can see that both of these sides are very well matched. Both sides have kind of got into this season with the same goals, and that's what makes this such a fascinating watch. 2 sides, very, very similar, good standard of football, similar teams, similar 11s. And both sides, I don't think a draw suits either one of these. I think they'll be looking to put some distance between the other as soon as possible, because you would expect either of these sides to be up there come the end of the season. Corner it is then to Black Sheep. Housekeeping, Black Sheep in the white, left to right. Class in the purple, and keeper comes out, claims it well, headed down, looking for Josh Chapman. Not found. They will recycle from the back. Brad Sheeran to Hayden. Viner down the line it goes. Invezi on it like a flash. Lemieux, good football from Class. Man over on that right-hand side. Tried to use him as a decoy. To no avail, and Black Sheep will recycle from the back. Good feet from Hayden in that centre-back build as well. He very may well be using that CDM, because that was some quick feet. You don't usually tend to get that in just a centre-back build. Captain America, loose pass, picked up by the goal scorer, but there he is making amends, of course. Steps in nicely. No pressure on Muzzy, so he'll get the shot off Logan. Big save, and I tell you what, it's got about 30 yards outside the box. Jacko swings it in. .tm has got the run on the man. Heads it over, and again, by their high standards, it's half a chance at the very least. At the very least. Tuku, you... Stop trying to get in my good books. Welcome, buddy. Welcome. Thanks for stopping by, mate. Good luck this evening in your games as well. Ellis steps in nicely, gives it to Bailey. There is the definition of a professional foul. Yeah, Tuku, good to hear from you, mate. I hope you're well. It was Class Doyle who picked up that booking. We wouldn't have got good odds on that. Straight through to Logan in between the posts for Class, and he goes long. Of course, the target is the newly booked Class Doyle. Good tackle from Calic. Gives it to Addy, who's looked tidy as he gives the ball away. That is the curse of the commentator. Apologies. Brad Sheeran switched it. Not seen too much going forward of Brad Sheeran and Lee Jacko, maybe since maybe the first 5-10 minutes. I say that as he gets involved here. Ellis just sat at that base in midfield. It was good football up until it wasn't. That's all I've got to say, really. I think they are missing that width from this man, Lee Jacko. He's tucking in a lot, and so are the wingers. They're playing more like inside forwards at the moment. I think it just spreads the game a little bit more if they want to gamble and go forward. But maybe Black Sheep happy with the draw here. Who knows? Josh Chapman slides it through to Mygan. He's put it away. What a finish. That is left peg, edge of the box. And just like that, Class turn it around. 2-1 it is. 68 minutes gone. And, I mean, we said he oozes class, that man. He is an ever-present. He's a goal threat. He is an absolute goal threat. And we said Black Sheep might be wanting a draw. Well, they're not drawing any more. Now maybe they will commit those men forward. Here is Lee Jacko. Gives it to his striker. Picks it up. Edge of the box. Has the strike. Big save from Logan. It's pure reactions from that distance. A fantastic save. Did enough to push it out as well. Corner for Black Sheep, piling on the pressure immediately after conceding. Agard there. Superb tracking, because that's the centre-back on centre-back. Good work from him. Not TM, the goal scorer. Headed down by Hayden. Good block by Captain America once more. And it's going to be backs to the wall now for Class. We said at half-time, Class find a way. They're more than happy chasing leads. They're more than happy holding leads. It's why they finish where they finish in the UK Premier season after season. Good game management. It all comes from this man, the manager, as he wins his 100th flick on of the season so far. Will be recycled though. Josh Chapman couldn't hold it up. That Heskey and Owen build combo going well so far. Kano gives it to Lee Jacko. Gets it back. Looking for Kano. Can't find him. Hayden does well against Class Doyle this time. Bailey, bit of space to work in, but Migan, there he is. The match winner. So far, the match winner. What a goal that was, by the way. Edge of the box. Left foot. I love it when they go back on themselves. It looks so good. And it was a fantastic goal. Worthy of winning any game. And it's given away again. The view this time. Steps in nicely. Good tackle from him. He's gone wandering as well. Has the CDM. I don't think he particularly wants to be there. You'll see him trotting. He should be trotting back now. He's still there. He switches the play. Killing those vital seconds. Migan just straight sprints back to his own goal. Tries to go over the top to his gaffer. Don't think he was on the same wavelength there. What have Black Sheep got in this final 5 minutes? They've knocked on the door. Logan's been called into action in the Class goal a few times. I want to see more width from them. It'll open up the game as Kano turns on the sixpence. I mean, we saw Class Doyle do it 60 virtual minutes ago. Is that the difference so far? The natural goal scorer of Class Doyle dragged his team back into the game from nothing, really. That's a bit better from Lee Jacko. Headed down to not TM. It's going to find Kano. Gets the strike off, but half wing is there. Good block. It will be a throw-in very, very high up in the Class. Oh, Brad Sheeran's unable to take that under his spell. That was arguably it. They rushed it because they needed to. I thought there was enough for him to get something on the end of it and take it down. Class have started that quite quickly. I didn't expect that. Brad Sheeran, this is going to go in the box. It's got to go in the box. In it goes. Headed on. Not down. And they're going to get a corner. Look at that top left-hand corner, boys and girls. They're going to send everyone into the box now. Now or never for Black Sheep. Not good enough. Agard is there for the umpteenth time. Look at the watch. How is there even time? They're going to call it there, boys and girls. There is confirmation. Class come from a goal down to win this one 2-1. I'm already calling it a top of the table clash because it is. Because it is. Those two sides, very, very good sides. Very, very good footballing sides. Very well matched. And we got a game. I was going to say we got a game that we needed. We just got a game, which is actually all we needed after waiting. If you waited, thank you so much. And now we're going to spoil you because we're jumping straight into the next game where we've already missed a goal. It's cruel, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Congratulations to Class. Commiserations to Black Sheep. We said at halftime they get the job done. It's what Class do. And some more fantastic signings for them. Class Doyle needs to be studied. In this game, it is FAMALICAO from left to right. In the FAMALICAO kit, funnily enough. I think it's all blue, but it looks more like black on my screen. They're a goal to the good. Current champions. And XTENTATIO, who we've seen a lot. We've seen a lot this week, and I am totally fine with that. A very good side. Champions E-League finalists tomorrow, boys and girls. Thank you, Johnny. Confirmation that Luca, that man on the ball there with the grey hair. He doesn't have grey hair in real life, unlike myself. He got the goal. And here he is again, looking for his second. Will find his second. Fires it past Chris Iboras, who's a world-class goalkeeper, by the way. Finds the back of the net. Doubles the lead just before half-time. XTENTATIO with it all to do now. VPG Esport Premier New Boys, XTENTATIO, Elite C winners last season. They're a very good side with some very good players, but they are taking on the current champs, and Chisato is in behind, squares it across. Escrow does fantastically well. Chris Boras came out and narrowed the angle. Chisato almost onto something there, but Escrow in the nick of time, to be honest, keeping his side in this game, because if they go down 3-0 just before half-time, I'm sorry, boys and girls, but there's no way back against a side as dominant as Fama. Taziak over the top it goes. Hint a suspicion of offside. Gonzalo is the centre-back. Clearly he knows how to beat the offside trap because he's used to calling it himself. Right. To be quite honest, I picked the wrong one, haven't I? To be quite honest, there's not too much to discuss because we only saw 10 virtual minutes of that game. I mean, no surprise. It's no disrespect to XTENTATIO, but we did say FAMALICAO, they're champions. They're champions for a reason. They go into this game as favourites. XTENTATIO have been fantastic so far this season and haven't necessarily got the results that their football has deserved. But the sooner they realise that, the better, because you do not... I'm going to say you don't ever get what you deserve in competitive 11v11 pro clubs, and no more so is that true than in the VPG Esports Premier. So they need to get themselves used to a bit like Class, a bit like we just saw there. Were Class at their best? No. Did they play badly? Absolutely not. Did they get the result? Yes, they bloody well did. That's what XTENTATIO need to take into the rest of the season. Starting tomorrow would be good for them because they got the Champions League final. Right then, housekeeping once more. It's XTENTATIO in the all-red kit with it all to do. But if there's a team that can do it, it's these boys. They have got goals for days. Look out for this man, the cameraman tonight. Absco as he sends a man for a Twix, gets to the byline, breaks into the box. Travella to the back post, headed down by Jimmy. Scaro there, fires it wide. But that is what I'm talking about, boys and girls. That is the attacking prowess of XTENTATIO. And at 2 goals down, they really don't have anything to lose. So expect to see them pressing high up, which they are doing here. That's the CDM is beast. And just going on the lookout for goals, which is what DJ is doing here. Breaks into the box, to the byline, back post it goes. Almost repaying the favour for Absco a short while ago. Absco a goal last night in the Champions E-League semi-final. He'll be praying for another here as Fama have got 2v2 in the box. Taziak just holds it up, finds Luca at the near post, fires it across against the crossbar. Everyone's gone down. They're giving a penalty. They've given a penalty. It was more like a rugby scrum than anything. I'm not sure what happened, but when you're at the top, you get the luck. Chris Boras, I think, made that save onto the crossbar, by the way. So if anyone deserves a save here, it's definitely that man. It will be Luca NR1 for the hat-trick. Sends the keeper the wrong way. Again, if you put £10 on Luca to get a hat-trick, you're getting about 11 quid back. It's not a lot because the man oozes class. I don't want to say they were lucky with the penalty call because you make your own luck. They worked the ball well from front to back. Taziak held the ball up, looked for his talisman, found him, fired it against the crossbar via the goalkeeper, I think. Chris Boras made a good save, I think. I'll have to watch it back. But again, XTENTATIO came out of the traps very, very well. They're still playing very, very well. They just don't, for some reason, get what they deserve. Headed down nicely, Scaro. 2 beasts, tries to flick it up for himself. Nashaw back there, and tell you what, yeah, 5 yards either side. Escrow, classy player is that Escrow. 5-10 yards either side there, he was in. Dreezy, though, will find Luca NR1, who was lurking. Wow, that's a ball. Who was lurking on the shoulder of the last man. It's what he does best. XTENTATIO now, where do you go from here? Get a goal as early as possible, I'm guessing, because they're still going for it. And that is what this team is about. And that's why we love watching them. Gonzalo, though, His baller build did come out today on Pro Clubs Weekly, so go and check that out if you are a centre-back, even if you're not a centre-back. He is the VPG Esports Premier Virgil van Dijk. Solid. Here is Luca running the channels, getting the best of Escrow this time. Toys with him a little bit more, but Escrow gets back there. Well played. He does have support, though, and Fama win it high up. Creativo this time. Good signing, and sends a man for a Twix. One for a hot dog. Edge of the box to Taziek. Gives it to Nayshaw. Happy to hold the ball at 3-0 up, funnily enough. XTENTATIO, though, want to get the ball and do one thing with it. Go and attack. Don't forget, we've got one more game after this game. FLUMINESES take on New Boys Braunschweig. Should be a good game. NGK overlap from Chisato. Pirouettes on the ball. Tries to get the shot of Escrow there again. Beats his man. Goes down the line. 2 left up with a couple more coming on, but it won't stay on. I would have been interested to see if that one had stayed on. But to be quite frank, we missed the first goal, but from what we've seen, it's just what Fama do. They're champions for a reason. They're holding off a very good XTENTATIO side while scoring 3 goals. Although they're not going to get through because Guy Jesus is there to pick the ball up calmly, collectively. Not sure about the distribution, though. Beast, who's having a good game. His team's 3-0 down. He's playing CDM and he's having a good game. It makes no sense. Creativo, the right winger for FAMALICAO, newly signed. Good signing for those guys. You're hard-pressed to find plays to improve this title-winning side. NGK blocked by Mister. Will go out for a corner. Keeping the pressure on our Fama. I mean, at 3-0, they don't need to just play keep ball. They can go and search for more. XTENTATIO haven't stopped trying to score since we joined them. Well played by Escrow there again. And again, it's another player who's played fantastically well, but finds his side 3 goals down. Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense, but that's why we love 11v11 Pro Clubs. 10 minutes then. I don't think even Absco and Co. can make this happen, but I'm happy to be proved wrong. It will be one for the ages. First things first, they need to get the ball off Fama, which they do. MX into GZ, who's fantastic cam, by the way. Look out for that man. Kaluga, very, very quiet. Not seen much of the ball, unfortunately, for XTENTATIO. Beast, who's seen plenty of the ball. GZ. His opposite number, Nayshaw, intercepts. Here is NGK, space to run into. Holds it off. Nayshaw. It's Fama at their free-flowing best, boys and girls. Creativo, edge of the box, couple of players there, one being this man. Nayshaw gives it to Luca, already on a hat-trick, looking for more. Greedy boy. Chisato, good feet from him. They've got players all over the park who can do these things with the ball. It must be so difficult to play against. Escrow there again for the umpteenth time, but it's recycled by Fama. Not only are they recycling possession, they're recycling attack after attack. It's one of those. I don't think XTENTATIO can be too harsh on themselves here. Newly promoted, playing against the champs, and they're not just playing against the champs. They're playing against the champs who look in very, very, very good form. This is their first game of the season, so there's no form to go by per se. But I mean, this is as much indication as you need that how they're going to look this season, and the answer is very, very good. Nayshaw, 3v3, 4v3 now. NGK gets the flick on. Taziak gets the flick on. They're toying with XTENTATIO. Taziak makes the tackle. It's going to throw through to Chris Boras. And there is the full-time whistle. Champions FAMALICAO. And there is confirmation of Luca NR1. 1 game, 3 goals. It's Luca NR1 things. Keanu, who do I think is the best? Does that say Cam? Best Cam in the league? Best Cam in the league. Oh, wow. I could name you about 10 easily. But none off the top of my head. I mean, look at that game. Nayshaw and GZ. 2 fantastic cams. You'll be hard pressed to find two better cams than that. To be honest, go and have a look at the VPG website because they list all their cams there. Go and have a look at some baller builds on Pro Clubs Weekly. We list all the cams there. That's my advice. That's my advice. Right, that was match number 3 of 4. I'll let you know what's happening with Focus and Primal. We're not going to follow this guy because he's got his camera on and I want all the attention on me, of course. Let's bring this up. So we have got both of these two sides are in games currently. So it does give us a chance to talk about the team sheets, actually. So it is Portugal plays Germany this evening. Fluminenses are at home. And I've said before, before I go into this game, I will again just confirm what's happening with Focus and Primal. And whether or not we're going to get that second half on stream. I'd be surprised if we were able to line those up and get them on stream. I will pose the question, of course. But I don't think it's going to happen, boys and girls. I'll stick around for a little bit to try and make it happen. But right then, the two sides on your screen now. Fluminense, 5th place last season. And for those of you who watched last season, you'll know that on the last day of the season, so with about 3 or 4 games left to play, Fluminense were in a position to lift that title, along with 6 or 7 others, of course. But that's massive. That is absolutely massive for Fluminense, and I've got nothing but mad props for those guys, because what they've built with the likes of Ricardinho, Hugo, Bernardo Phoenix, Johnny Benas, Braga, those guys, in particular Ricardinho, who left Fama and came over to Flume. It was almost a bit like a project. That's how I personally saw it. And it was a case of, right, well, we know Fama are the best Portuguese side. They're the best side in Europe at the moment. Facts. That's just how it is. They are the champions. It was almost a bit like Fluminense said, right, well, if they're the best, why don't we get the best of the rest and just try and compete with those guys, and we'll give it our best shot. And I tell you what, their best shot, you watch this side, they're a very good side, and a good footballing side, but also a side that can get results. And I think that's what really helped them last season. Nobody particularly enjoyed playing against them because they can either hurt you with very good football, or they can just pinch a result against you, and that makes them a very tricky side to play. Again, some of the players I've already called out. Ricardinho, definitely one to watch at the back, and Hugo is just... You'll see him when he's on the ball, a very good ball-playing CDM. So look out for that man. Right, let me try and have a look at where everyone is, because I don't want to miss any of the action. It is... moving on to Braunschweig as well, which I do believe, I'm sure someone in the chat will correct me if I'm wrong, are the old Cyfox side, which is why we recognise some of the players like San, who is ex-Cyfox. And again, we recognise the likes of all the Gains, Marv. These are the guys who are esports premier battle hardened, and I was going to say, particularly all the Gains. There's no disrespect to Marv, because Marv's included in that as well. But all the Gains, he's a player that I message quite often. He doesn't message me back all that often, but it's a player I consistently, after a game, will say GG's, because he's a very good player. So he's my one to watch for this Braunschweig side, and it's very early on in the season so far. they just won 3-2 actually in their first game. They did win on Monday in the VPG Esports Premier as well. So they're 2 games into the VPG Esports Premier and 2 wins so far. So I guess, I mean, they're a new side into the Esports Premier. So whether they were promoted or not, I think they were. They're still a new side. They're still having to battle it out against the likes of FLUMINESES, who were here, been there, done that, wore the t-shirt, got the t-shirt. You know, this is going to be a massive challenge for them, but they're 2 from 2 at the moment. So they're arguably a side to beat. They're making an early running for it. That being said, Digital, who we saw on Monday, it seems like an age ago now, it was literally 3 days ago. Digital beat them 6-2 in their, what's the word I'm looking for, in their domestic league. So we've almost, in this first opening week, we've almost seen the good and the bad of this Braunschweig side. So I think for FLUMINESES, you always know what you're going to get, because they're a very, very good side, and they will always play good football. And if they don't play good football, they will somehow find a way to hurt you and get a result. Braunschweig, apparently we've seen the best and the worst of them, so bring it on. I think, once again, styles make fights, as we always say on this channel, and these are 2 sides who I think match up against each other really, really well. And I've always got a lot of time for players who are happy to change their names, their usernames, and put that. I think that just shows a real collectiveness. I like that. I got a lot of time for that, and that's what Braunschweig did. Although apparently HQO did not get the memo. All I can see in the lobby right now, he has got it in his name. Those guys are ready then. I'll pop the team sheet back up just in case you wanted to have one more look at that. I'll go and pop the team sheet up as well for me to have a look at whilst the game is going on. But let's chase FLUMINESES, find out where they are, because this is the 4th and final game of this evening. It's another VPG Esports Premier. Hopefully it's going to be a classic. We've seen the last 2 games that we actually got to watch. Very, very good games. Unfortunately, we missed the first Luca NR1 goal, which is... I'll go to bed crying about that later on. But hopefully this game makes up for it. We tell you what, we do have the FLUMINESES stream. So let's go and spy on them and actually find out what they're doing. That was the one I said they had someone on stream. They're in the lobby and they look ready to go. So expect this game to kick off pretty soon. And we've not been able to say that very often tonight, have we? Any score predictions down in the chat? I'm going to go for... I mean, I don't want to root against all the games, because he's a very, very good player. But my heart's telling me Flumi for this one. We'll go 2-1 Flumi. Right then. If you couldn't see, by the way, confirmation that we are at least trying to get this kicked off. We're only 4 minutes late, which is pretty good tonight. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, if you've been with me all night, thank you very much for joining me. Of course, I am Domino-less again. Get used to that for the foreseeable. He's got a newborn baby, so Pro Clubs does tend to take a bit of a backseat when that happens in your household. So he'll be back for Sheffield. Don't you worry about that. We've got our priorities sorted, but there's also certain priorities that we need to adhere to, and Sheffield LAN is definitely one of them. Right, boys and girls, here we go then. 4th and final game of the night. It is FLUMINESES in the red and black with the white shorts, taking on Braunschweig in the all-white kit. LFC Braunschweig. And I tell you what, they're in already. Good save from Para. cleared away. Here we go then. This game has started with blistering pace. Para already makes a save. This is what Flumi do, by the way. Very, very good football inside. Can hurt you. Have got plenty of players who can find a pass. Braunschweig unbeaten in 2. 2 wins out of 2 as well. Lets it go. Here we go. Marv on this left-hand side. Picks the ball up. Edge of the box. Dispossessed, and it goes long. Collected by Phoenix. Another very good player. Beats his man with consummate ease. The goalkeeper for Braunschweig wearing a very Fluminese looking shirt there, which is very helpful. Thank you very much. Here is Hack. Finds it down the line. Is Marv. All the gains. First touch for him. Gok. Finds Marv. Left-footed into striker's feet. But the centre-back comes across. Little push from Phoenix. High IQ player, that man. Gives it to Bernardo, his strike partner. But Marv is there. Into San, and LFC Braunschweig will recycle. Playing through the thirds well. Both sides, we've hardly seen, if any, long balls. And who's that? That's Broko, or Broku. And apparently that was a foul. Didn't see much in it from where I'm sat, but what do I know? There wasn't much in it at all, to be honest. Free kick it is then to Braunschweig. Goes short, all the gains, swings it in. Did take a deflection on the way in. Boss clears. Cade to all the gains, beats his man, gives it to Gok, edge of the box. Gobbled up by Danny Verde in the sticks tonight for the Portuguese. Flicked on, headed out by Oku. Cade. Or Clade. Good turn. Into Gok's feet, seeing a lot of the ball, as is that man. All the gains. You can get a bit of freedom playing in this cam position, and Marv is causing all sorts of problems on this near side. Falls to Gok. Might fall to him again. There he is. Leonardo puts it home. It is 1-0 to Braunschweig, and they just kept pounding at that door. Fluminese block after block, but they committed a lot of men to it. And Leandro pops it away early in the game as well. I think this is what you need to do against this Fluminese side. Put them under pressure early doors, match them playing through the thirds. We did say Fluminese are a side who can dig out a result, but so far Braunschweig are just matching fire with fire. And if this is the old Cy Fox side, we know how good that side are. We've covered them in the past. They are up there when they played PC League with the very, very best. Now we're on crossplay. They've come over to VPG Europe to cause a storm. All the gains. Cut out to Bosso. Phoenix. Good ball. Finds Brucko. Into the box he goes. Marv, fantastic tracking. Tracked his man about 30, 40 yards. I mean, took a gamble there. Will pay off. Restart with a goal kick. Questionable one at that, but they do get the flick on to Gok. Gok and Clade up front so far. And that man, of course, Leandro, the goal scorer, have played very, very well. It does look like Fluminese are happy to sit off those two centre forwards, which I'm not sure how long they're going to be able to get away with that, because that out ball for Braunschweig is to fire it into feet and try and get them cooking from there. And I tell you what, Flumi have got players up here. Phoenix, who's been dangerous so far, seen a lot of the ball. Back sticks it goes, headed out by the goal scorer, Leandro. Gok, again, just happy to work for his side and win that ball back. It does fall at the feet of Danny Quintos, though, for Fluminese. Swings it in. Repelled once more. Comes straight back in. It's going to go all the way through to Para, who did make that save early on as well, don't forget. Hugo. I mean, very, very acrobatic. Not what he's renowned for, I must admit. Who's that? Trissy loses out. he will get a throw-in note over on that far side. 10 minutes left of this first half. 1-0 to the Germans. In the all-white from right to left, Braunschweig. Unbeaten so far this season, 2 wins out of 2. Can they make it 3 in 3? Fluminense hadn't played in the Esports Prem before tonight with Tuesday's problems. Gok breaks into the box, strikes it, Bosso across, gives it to his CDM, who interestingly stabs it 5 yards forward, so it is picked back up by Braunschweig. Lots of pressing from both of these midfields means it's very, very difficult to replicate that opening 20 minutes where both sides were playing through the thirds. All the gains, edge of the box to Gok. It's going to fall back to the gaffer. Fit is there, though. San working across for his side. He is the gaffer. He's leading by example. I tell you what, that's not the pass that he wanted there. He was free, but it was such a risky pass as the last man. Just about got away with it, but it does mean Fluminense still have the ball. Danny Quintos, edge of the box to Hugo. Tries to find striker's feet, won't find it. Pappy also there. It's 6s and 7s at the moment. Pinballing around. San introduces some calm just before we get to half time. I tell you what, that half, one, it absolutely flew by, and two, it could have been any scoreline. It was all over the place. Two sides who want to play football, played football. They let each other play football through the thirds for 25-30 minutes. And then it just turned into an absolute slobber knocker. And this is what I was saying about Fluminense. They are a side, they will hurt you one of two ways. One, with sheer quality carpet football. Or two, a bit like class in the last game, they will just find a way. And I think we literally just saw that from Fluminense. We saw that 25-30 minute carpet football where Braunschweig were more than happy to match them, and did. They got the goal. And then Fluminense were like, actually, do you know what? We need to go and win this. And then they just mixed up their weapons and turned it into a bit of a rugby scrum. And I imagine that's how it's going to look this half as well. Fluminense will be desperate for points. I think when they look at their calendar, this is absolutely no disrespect to Braunschweig. Flumi finished 5th last season. A newly promoted side, they're going to be on their radar for 3 points. And you almost get that sense in that final 10-15 minutes of that first half that was the case for Fluminense. They're not nervous, but they're well aware that this is a game that they on paper can win. Braunschweig, though, have not read the script. Well on their way to making it 3 wins from 3. And that's some great feet, by the way. Completes the clearance, finds all the gains as well. And I tell you what, Braunschweig moving through their paces, looking good. San just about gets it through. Overlap on that left-hand side, uses him as a decoy. Then tried to actually make that pass. Not sure if it's stuck to the wrong person there. Phoenix has got a runner over to the right. Fantastic block, but it does fall at the feet of Bernardo. For Fluminense, here is Danny Quintos looking for Bernardo. Will eventually find him. Para just about manages to put it past his post. The right side for him, wrong side for Fluminense. Clade is there. That's that striker, by the way, back there defending. Swings it in. There was a man for the knockdown. Could they have got it? Leandro, the goal scorer. I tell you what, they got a man just waiting on the last man at the back post. They're filling the box, and that is super backs. That is Leandro, the goal scorer. He's offside, isn't he? I don't think that's who he intended to cross that to. Fluminense restart then from their back line. They have reduced the chaos. Fluminense have looked good in this first 13-14 minutes of the second half. But worryingly for them, so have Braunschweig. So that is, again, it's on paper, I don't think Braunschweig will mind me saying. Fluminense finished 5th in the top league. Of course, they'll be going into this as favourites. Of course, call it lazy journalism if you like. But Braunschweig are proving they're holding their own. What a ball through by Clay to To Gok. It's a massive block, by the way. A great slide tackle. Because sometimes when you do that, it actually just goes towards the man instead of trying to block the shot. So it's a fantastic block in the end. Just the one man up. So Oko wins that header. Does fall to Pappy, though. Finds its way through to Bernardo. They've got runners ahead. And it almost finds... Looking for striker's feet. They had the right winger running in behind. Any way will do for Fluminense. I tell you what, Clade and Gok have been so impressive. As had this man up until that point, all the gains. Am I going to need to message him again after this game, telling him how well he played? Step over. Drags his man. Clade into the box. I think it was... Wow, okay, I thought it was the one on all the gains. It's not. It was a foul on Clade as he flip-tapped his way through. And now, Braunschweig have a very, very big opportunity to go 2-0 up. Can they make this count? Wow, what a save by Danny Verdi. What a save. I mean, it pinged off in a really strange direction afterwards, so the physics makes no sense, but the headline reads, Danny Verdi, what a save, because that ball came at him with pace. Near post, bad corner if I'm honest. Down the line it goes from Pappy. Bernardo happy to run his man, and run his man he will do. Cuts back, gives it to Danny Quintos. Into the box, he goes near post. Big save from Para this time. Quick, into the box it goes. Headed down. Who was that? Was it Brucco? Either way, it was inches wide. I mean, it's been end-to-end stuff. It shouldn't be 1-0, and I don't think it's going to end up 1-0. Bernardo into the box. Danny Quintos gives it to Phoenix. That's the man they want it to fall to. For some reason, there's a phantom free kick given. The team who are a goal to the good restart us quickly. Tells me everything I need to know about this Braunschweig side. I think they're going to be a side we enjoy watching this season. They won their last game as I was waiting for them to get into the lobby for this game, and 3-2 against Dark Esports. So clearly a side who love a goal, both scoring and conceding, as Para watches that deflection go over his crossbar. Phoenix not swinging it in quickly this time, but can't take too long. They got 15 virtual minutes left to get something out of this game, and they're going to need something quickly as Para comes and collects. Again, the distribution is quick. Braunschweig not reading the script at all. They've ripped it up. Marv, who had an excellent first half. Slightly quiet second half as he flip-flaps his way through someone's legs, but runs out of pitch. 13 minutes left. Fluminense, last season's 5th place team. Like I said in the intro to this game, were there or thereabouts come the last day of the season last season. Could have won it. And it just speaks volumes. Fluminense mixing it with the best in Europe. And now Braunschweig doing the same by proxy. Good crossfield ball, but it is intercepted by Danny Quintos. Not too much on for Fluminense. They're forced to go long. Plenty of red shirts forward. But Shades completes the clearance. It's going to come straight back at them, though. This is just something that Braunschweig need to be aware of as the man breaks into the box. It is Pappy. HQO there once more. Hugo went for the follow-up. Instead, they swing it in. I don't think that's the one for them just yet. Don't think they need to force it from those wide areas. They've looked good on the deck. They've looked good in behind. Danny Quintos swings it in. Back post was never on. It is cleared, hooked away, but it falls at Fitz's feet. Swings it in again, dumped in, headed down. Good block. Trissy does well with that 70-yard clearance that we love. Of course we love. Switches on. 1 minute of normal time left to play. Then we're at the mercy of the referee's stopwatch, and it's 2v2 as they go in search. Good first touch by Gok. Gives it to all the gains. This man knows what he's doing. He's going to try to hold this ball up, and hold this ball up is what he is doing. Are they? No, they're not going to get the free kick in the corner. Instead, it's going to be a Fluminese goal kick with 30 virtual seconds left. Fit goes long. They need this knockdown. They're not going to get it. And quick with his whistle is the referee. Fluminense 0. LFC Braunschweig 1. And a great introduction to LFC Braunschweig and what they are all about tonight. Welcome to the VPG Esports Premier, boys and girls. Beating one of the best in the business. Like I said 5 minutes ago, I think they're going to be a side that we enjoy watching this season. So those boys are welcome back whenever they want. Never took their foot off the gas. And to put away a side like Fluminense, who finished 5th last season, will be looking to top that as well. I think that's a really good statement piece from those guys. 3 wins from 3 for those. So let's get them back on the channel. Let's get them back on the channel next week. Right, boys and girls, I'm going to do one check of the Primal and focus situation. It's not going to happen. We're only going to get 45 minutes of that game. Apologies for that one. As I said on the intro, EA for some reason has been crazy this week. Hopefully by the time tomorrow hits, it's going to be much better, because it is the Champions E-League final. 8:15 is kickoff UK time. Make sure you are there. Make sure you tune in. That's going to be massive. It is XTENTATIO, the French side, taking on the Russians. Echelon. 2 legs, $2,000. I don't need to build it or hype it up any more than that. That is the state of play. Guys and girls, thank you so much for joining tonight. It's been an absolute blast. When we got the football going, it was good. Please do join us tomorrow. If not, I'll see you next week. We'll be doing the same again. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, providing EA don't mess anything up again. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I have been Able from Pro Clubs Weekly. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. And I'll leave you for the rest of the night. See you again in 24 hours. Bye-bye.